Okay, this video is for Kian, or the derpy pizza if you're nasty. And I know that this is going to make especially Brandon very jealous. And it's not that I don't care for Brandon, it's that Kian randomly in a live stream asked me, where do I start with Batman? What should I read? I can kind of answer that. So I was born in 1989. I was born the day that Batman 89 came out. I am a Batman child. Loved Batman growing up. Loved the comics. But there's been a lot of reboots. There's been a lot of changes. Batman's been published since the 1930s. Batman has appeared in thousands and thousands of comics. Most of them are not good. That's just it. So what I have is a short, in my opinion, a relatively quick, compact burst of recommendations to read in this order, and I think you'll get the most out of some kind of cohesive universe as best you can. This is my Batman headcanon. This is my way of reading and recommending Batman. And first, his origin. We have to start somewhere, and it's not Frank Miller. Batman Year One just doesn't work. It's not relevant. I don't like the way Frank Miller writes or approaches women. And I have to be honest, I think so, yeah. There is no Frank Miller and there is no Grant Morrison in my reading recommendations. It's just all skippable. So with Batman's origin, 0 Year. 0 Year is amazing. Start with this. Start with the origin. This is it. This is where you begin. It is so good. And it's a great, modern, and relevant approach to Batman. So start here for a general Batman Begins continuity, if you will. So then, this one's a little trickier, but I highly recommend it. As of the recording of this video, correct me if I'm wrong, DC has never put this in a trade, but it is Matt Wagner's Batman and the Monster Myth. It is a 6-issue series that was published from January to June 2006 on time. Matt did all of it. It is excellent, and it introduces Batman to the weird world. Basically, this is basically Year One Batman, pretty much. This is him encountering some weird stuff coming off of, well, now retroactively, if you're building your own continuity, coming off of, 0 Year. This is amazing. I love Matt's work. I love the art in this, and it is 6 issues. It is dirt cheap to get. I did do some looking on secondhand just to kind of make sure, because like I said, you can't get this in a trade. The single issues are dirt cheap. These are my originals from 2006. These are mine. Then you have to introduce the Joker, and that is The Man Who Laughs by Ed Brubaker. I love this. This is a great Joker origin. I'm trying to think. I don't think there really is anything more recent that kind of tops this. You can put this after 0 Year and Monster Men, and you're good to go. You're done. You're good to go. This is a great introduction to the Joker. After Joker, though, we need probably the most beautiful book that DC's ever produced. I don't care what you say. I'm not really taking debates here. Harleen. This is amazing. This is beautiful. And it needs to go right after, if you're looking to for a Batman universe, if you're looking for Batman canon, this needs to go right after it. Harleen has to go right after The Man Who Laughs. It is perfect. It is perfect. It's the best thing DC's ever put out. And honestly, let's just be real. DC probably had nothing to do with it. There was no editor coming into Sajic's room. Then after that, it has to be said, I do think it's necessary, though. I really do. But Hush. This is obviously the 15th anniversary deluxe edition. I should have got it out. I should have got it out to show it. I do have Hush in single issues because I was buying comics. I was buying DC at that time. I have every issue of Hush. Single issue, first edition printing, they all came from a place called Lone Star Comics, which is gone now. But I do have single issues of Hush that I will dig into my safe if need be, take pictures and post it on my Discord. But this is a much easier way to get it. I think the hardback version is appropriate. I think this is Jim Lee's best work for DC. And I think this is, it's the last time Jeff did some really good work. There's no nice, I don't know how to be nice about that. It's good. It's good. It has a lot of different characters in it. It quickly gets you into the Batman mythos, the Bat family. It kind of sets the stage for all of it, so it's a quick, easy way to get into all the, to touch base with all the various Batman mythos. So it is really worthwhile in that way. And that's kind of why I recommend it. And I do like the relationship between Bruce and Selina that really kind of took a good foundation, and I really feel like started here. Then after that, this is my favorite one. Then, like, legitimately, this is my favorite. And it is Paul Dini's Batman Private Casebook with art by Dustin. I've never known how to say that last name. It's my favorite art. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's a bunch of great stories. Again, it just dives you into the Batman's world. That's it. Bunch of great adventures. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. This is my favorite out of this whole pile in terms of a quick Batman universe, but this is my favorite. So then after that, you're kind of ready for the next one. And I mean, come on, it had to be here. The Court of Owls. It's very good. Like, legit very good. Greg Capullo, I love him as an artist. I grew up with him in the 90s, so when Greg Capullo got put on Batman, I was like, that's it. That's awesome. Yes. And it needs to be read. Court of Owls is going to be long-standing. We're going to see this referenced and come back constantly. What started here with Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder will carry on for decades in terms of Batman media and adaptations. It started here. But I think you need to have some Batman history to come into this. I think it makes it better. You can still pick it up and read it on its own, to be honest. Like, you could do that with any of these. I just think if you want a Batman universe shelf, read it in that order. Then after that, I think anything, like in terms of ending, in terms of coming to an end, we have to start with Volume 3, Death of the Family, from the New 52 stuff. We have to, this gets us towards the end, but this is necessary. And then, and again, it's a good book. I don't want to spoil it, so I don't want to say too much on it, but it is good. And then, I had to buy this in hardback. I love it. But if you're going to end it, if you want an ending, what better than Endgame? This is very good. I like the way this smells. It even smells nice. I don't want to spoil it, though, if you don't know anything about it. I don't want to spoil Death of the Family or Endgame, except to say it's Greg Capullo at his best. And they're great Joker stories. They're great Joker stories. And Joker is felt throughout all of this, especially with Zero Year, The Man Who Laughs. There is a Joker presence that I think is important from beginning to end. But I think when it comes to Batman, if you just want something from beginning to end to read, it's, you start with Zero Year, you end with Endgame, and I think Joker's relevant to all of that. So, Kian, that's a lot. All you can get now, I don't know if you can in Liverpool, but I know you can in America. All these can be picked up from a library. Like I said, everything here is easily accessible, very cheap. I did that myself. I made sure myself, if you're buying them in trades, if you're not buying the hardbacks, if you're just buying floppy trades, these are very cheap, very, very easy to get. You can get all of this for about $20. Now, I say all of that. Now, like I said, I've got some hardbacks in here. I've got single issues that I bought as they came out. It has, various pieces of this did cost a little bit more money, but you can find them very cheap at used bookstores. And again, in-game, like, I understand this is a hardback, and I don't know if other countries have these stores, but there's a place called Ollie's, right? This was $3 at Ollie's. And because I went hunting, I wanted to make sure, like, I had all of this, I could read it, I could, because again, I have I have a Batman presence in my library. I have comic books everywhere. But yeah, this was $3. This was $1. The most expensive one, because this was bought when it was new and first came out. This was purchased on Amazon. This was $15. This was Amazon 15. Like I said, again, Ollie's. This was $2. These, hilariously, this series is probably going to be the most expensive to find, because while it is cheap, the cheapest I found on American eBay was you're pretty much spending about $1 an issue. So that might end up being expensive, and that's if you get lucky. But yeah, 0-year trades. These are $3 each. All comes from stores like Ollie's and Half Price Books, and like I said, Harleen, you know, every so often Amazon. I try to avoid Amazon. I go to Half Price Books, or I go to Ollie's first. But yeah, I mean, so like, it looks like a lot, but dirt cheap. And I highly recommend them. Go to your comic shop, go to your library, but read it in that order, because I think that gives you a full experience, and then you can clock out on Batman, in my opinion. I'm not trying to, like, you know, tell people don't read Batman. If you want to keep reading after this, you go right ahead. But I think this gives you a good little pocket. Hell, that's dozens of movies. That's dozens of episodes of a show. Like, that's multiple seasons. This is 10 seasons in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot here in terms of adaptation. But, like, I think here and you're done. So, anyway, Kian, I hope you've enjoyed this. Brandon, I'm sorry. It isn't. There's nothing going on. You keep asking. There's nothing going on between Kian and I. Again, he's just, you know, he's an enthusiast in cartoons and, you know, animation and, you know, comics. So it's like, that's just it. This is just a couple of guys sharing stuff fully clothed. There is nothing going on between us, Brandon, so I wish you would stop going through my phone. It's not healthy, and I don't like it when you ask, like, hey, can I see your phone? And then you're on it way too long looking through the text and stuff and looking through my DMs. It's just, it's not healthy. But again, Kian, hope you enjoy these recommendations. And to anybody else looking to get into potentially reading or looking for a little pocket to read and then get out. Because again, these do go on forever. These characters don't end. These are corporate characters. They're never going to end. And for some of them, like Batman, who's been published since the 30s, a lot of it is just not good and not worth reading. There's no reason to be picking up all, you know, Silver Age Batman, Golden Age Batman. No, just a pocket. That's it. In and out. Relatively cheap if you have similar kind of bookstores in your country, or easy access to libraries and stuff like that. All of these are accessible through those channels. Again, I primarily know it through America. That's what I was able to find, but I hope it's easy in other countries too. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Try to avoid corporations. Try to avoid big business. You don't have to give WB, Paramount, and Disney your money. You can do this through interacting with other people, connecting with other people. There's ways to get access to these books without being driven by corporate greed. So do that. All right, I'm done. I'm done.